Hello and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm
Hi.
Janice Cochran from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer and our amazing guest tonight, Gerald from Tarot Stash.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? It's been a day for most that I have spoken
Oh,
to, myself
yes.
included.
A day, a week, a month, a year. I mean,
Well, the week has been especially trying for many people. We have had, I know, I thought it was a little odd too. Kaylee's like, you're on the wrong side of the screen.
This is part of this is demonstrating how we're all feeling with all of this energy. We're just out of sorts.
We are. It is a day for that.
Yes.
Because, as you all know, we had a huge number of solar flares. We actually had 7 coronal mass ejections hit the atmosphere in the last 3 days. So that is because of the numerous solar flares we've had. We had one of the highest solar flares since 2003, and I can actually show you that. I want to go back. X5.8, the strongest geomagnetic storm since 2003, as you see here. We have many up here, and a whole bunch up here in the X category. So as you can see, we're doing quite a lot of solar storm activity at the moment.
Yeah.
And the Schumann is actually not too bad. It's been in like the teens. So it's interesting because they usually coincide with each other, and they haven't this time. So I find that very interesting. But last week they were really high, like the middle of the week. So after our last show, they were really high. They were in 70s, 60s and 70s. And then we started getting into these X-class solar flares. So that's where we have been, folks. So the energy behind all of this, if you're feeling discombobulated like us on the wrong side of things, that is okay. It's the solar flares. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it.
Jen.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, when you think about, okay, so we talk about the transits every week, and we talk about kind of, what energy we're in. But you've got to think, okay, so actually when Gerald and I did the deep dive on the transits, I talked a bit about neutrinos and the way that they work and how they bring the energy down to us. And so the sun, brings all this energy and it filters through, and that's where the gates are, right? So where the sun has 70% of our conditioning of that current transit. Now add solar flares, 6 or 7 of them within particular gates. That energy is massive, what's coming down for us, right? And so it started in gate 2, and last week we talked about gate 2, and this is the divine feminine, and it's this nurturing energy, but there's also a lot of release that has to happen with that. And so a lot of people were talking about the timeline shifts and jumps that are happening during this time because we're going through such an incredible transformative process, right? And that was what started the CMEs in the gate 2. And then we moved into the gate 23, and we're in the tail end of the 23 right now. So I'll show you guys the 23. This is the gate of splitting apart, but it's also assimilation. So the energy with this gate right now is beautiful in the sense that it's the alchemy of simplicity. It's moving us from this place of complexity, right? How much are we just making everything really complex and complicated into a place of simplicity, right? What can we do to simplify our experience in this moment? And in doing that, we bring about quintessence. And quintessence is the divine spark. It is that ability to bring forward something that needs to be able to be held in our, our essence, this part of us that is connected to the whole. And now notice like the end of this kind of solar flare storm happened in this energy. So we were nurtured with Divine Mother, and now we're able to move from complexity to simplicity and ultimately embrace this divine spark within us. And that's going to move us into the gate that we're going to actually be transitioning into. Let me just check the calendar really quick for the exact day. So yeah, in 2 days. So between the Tuesday, Wednesday split is when we switch into the next one, and we'll be in that one all the way through. We're going to end it next Monday. So we'll be in it until then. And
So
it's 8/8.
So you can have the olives in your martini until then. The card looks like olives.
I don't know. I think this one is also a good one for that. The gate 8 is all about moving from mediocrity to exquisiteness through bringing out our style, right? And so it's such a beautiful thing because it's the diamond of the self. So think about this, right? Like we were given energy with massive solar flares to nurture ourselves and to hold space for that. And then we were emphasized with this energy of being able to stabilize and simplify in order to bring this divine spark about. And now we're here given an opportunity to bring that exquisiteness forward into our experience. So it's a really beautiful way to see kind of the energy as it unfolds, right? I'm doing it this way, but it actually goes counterclockwise around. I don't know if I'm mirrored or not, so whatever, it doesn't matter.
It goes around, folks. One way or the other.
It just goes around.
What goes around comes
as we
around,
go
right?
around the wheel. Right? So notice, right now, if you've been in this energy and you've been feeling like, a victim of the complexity, right? If it's been coming up where you feel like you're just not getting it, or you feel like there's been this kind of fragmented energy, are you trying to put too much together? Are you making it too complex? Right? And how can you move towards simplifying something in that experience? Right? And then as we move to the 8, it's about the mundane, right? So can we move from this place of being very like kind of stuck? The term is wooden, but like really kind of stuck, or this like artificial, not real to yourself kind of energy, and be able to really embrace who you are and bring that forward regardless of what anybody else is saying or thinking or doing, right? It's this energy, again, it's exquisiteness. In the sense, it's funny, I think about this. So I have the gate 8 in my design, and I have the 1. So I have the channel that goes with this, and it's the channel of the creative role model. And I remember when I first started, when I was studying this, one of the classes that I took, one of the people said, you always know somebody who has this line because you can walk into their space and it just feels like them. And I have people say that all the time about my space. Yep. It's like, yep, this is Jen. Like I just feel Jen in this space. Yep. And it's because it's about this energy of putting yourself into the world around you. And so notice, what wants to come through you as we move into this energy and what wants to be expressed by you, right? And allow yourself permission to express it.
So does that mean channeling too?
Yeah.
Because that's what comes through.
It's all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's also, is it also about taking the experiences and then expressing them in the way that is unique to us and the most authentic? So part of that is letting go of the shackles of what people are saying we should do.
Yes.
And so then when we put it through ourselves authentically, it adjusts the power and the impact of all of that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely.
So I came across this, Jen. Does this have anything to do with our stuff today? I'll read it because it's a little bit small.
Yeah, it's really small.
Hold on, maybe I can.
Because I have you guys and the chat and all that, so it's
Yeah.
There we go. There's a little bigger. So it's the Sun and Uranus conjunct in Taurus starting today. So that's probably similar to what you were saying, right? So on May 13th, the Sun and Uranus converge in their annual conjunction, forming a potent alliance that reverberates with transformative energy. This celestial alignment signals a moment of profound opening and destabilization, inviting us to embrace unexpected changes and breakthroughs. The Sun, representing the core essence of self and vitality, joins forces with Uranus, the planet of innovation and liberation. There's that freedom thing, right?
Yeah.
Ushering in transformative insight and realization. Together, they illuminate the path towards greater authenticity and freedom. We just mentioned that, urging us to break free from stagnant patterns and embrace our unique individuality. This conjunction serves as a catalyst for personal growth and evolution, inviting us to step boldly into the unknown. And why do I feel like I should be like, into the unknown?
I feel like you're doing like the Star Trek kind of,
I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
and unleash your untapped potential. The last time we saw this conjunction was May 9th, 2023. We're clearing karmic contracts and stepping into new opportunities of abundance.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, and it's interesting, right? So the Sun conjunct with Taurus. So, we're looking at the Sun, and this is all about our outer expression, right? And how we want to show up in the world. And then Uranus is all about like our uniqueness, right? And how we embrace that unique part of us, right? And so it's such a beautiful thing to see all of that happening just as we're kind of opening and holding space for simplifying and then bringing our uniqueness out. I know you're
I'm giggling at the comments, guys.
Yeah.
We'll share in a sec.
Well, and then on top of that, the nodes have shifted, right? So as of Saturday, the moon's nodes have shifted, and they don't shift very often, right? So we find that we'll be in one, and it bounces between, moving forward and retrograde, on and off for a while before it shifts again. So we end up in a particular node for a period of time, and the nodes are about, the North Node is what we're moving towards, right? And so this is about breathing out. Right, I have to take that deep breath, right? The direction that we need to head towards in order to fulfill our dharma, right? Our life theme and what we're moving towards. So we have our own node that's part of our birth chart, but then we also have what the transit is telling us the node is in this moment that we can work towards. And then the South is that breathing in, right? Where we're coming from, the karma. And it's interesting, right? Like even what that said about, being able to start to release some of that. That's what the South Node is about being able to recognize what we've brought with us and what we are evolving from, right? And so being able to take that energy and that theme and move past it, beyond it, into kind of that next phase. And so there's going to be a lot of things happening right now. I mean, we had all of the solar flares that were in some of these really powerful gates, plus we've got some serious conjunctions that have happened in the last, I want to say, couple weeks, but maybe month, of like really powerful, this is time for transformation conjunctions that have happened. And now we're looking at, this brand new kind of direction that we're moving into. So there's a ton of transformative energy that is available to us right now. But that also means, as we all know, what comes with transformation, we got to be doing that work.
Doing the work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you do the work, Jen?
A lot of deep
breathing. How do you do the work?
A lot of taking that breath.
Well, it's funny. I mean, because sorry, I interrupted your breath, Jen.
Hey, go for it.
Well, I just had a conversation today on my channel about what's in our toolkits so that when we are evolving and we're getting to know our guides and our spirit teams, what are things that are available to us? Yes. What are the things that we have available to us that support us? And we occasionally need to remember what we're good at or what rituals we have that can line us up better and to help us do the work. Because when we're in crisis or a twirl or a spiral, I don't know about you, but I can't see straight.
Yeah, that's how I
So
am too.
it's
Unless
hard.
you're a whirling dervish.
Unless
Yeah,
I'm
well,
a whirling
that's your,
Yeah.
you know who's a whirling dervish?
Jen.
Yes, yes, her.
And we love whirling dervishes. So
We do.
just saying. So
No, but
Yes,
you're absolutely right. You know, having
sure.
these tools in place that help us to not go down these rabbit holes, right? The spirals that take us in the direction that we don't want to go, so that we can then move in the direction we want to go, right?
Yes.
And I always talk about, we don't want to go in circles, we want to go in spirals, right? But we don't want to constantly be closing in on ourselves, we want to be expanding.
True.
Right? So
Well said.
noticing that.
What they're showing me right now is everybody attached up top to each other.
Mhm.
And then, we're all on these strings and we're like spiraling. And then somebody will grab the string and go, "Oh, are you okay down there?"
Oh, see, when you started talking, what I pictured was, the swing ride at the boardwalk. Have you ever seen
Oh,
that?
yes.
We're all attached to these swings and we're just going, ah! As we spin around.
But someone's at the top going, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you all right? Okay."
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
And we
love
take
it.
turns at the top. So,
Yeah. I love it.
Well, I
We're
know
all
there's
there.
been a lot of energy going on, but I will say, in particular, the last week, my dreams have been extremely clear. So I think I may be one of these people where all of this chaos and this energy clears things up for me.
Mhm.
I knew listening to this, I'm like going, because I was like going, well, how have I been doing with the energy? I'm like going, I've been sleeping really well. Dreams are clear. They are in color. I'm waking up. I'm remembering them. And then I went, well, that's how Gerald deals with it and experiences it. And it's different for everyone.
Yes.
It is.
And one is not better than the other.
No, they're just different.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And so last week for me was really good. I was feeling energized. I was feeling, on top of things. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then Saturday, the transit hit. Saturday night, I was toast because we did a trade show and it was awesome. If you guys are watching, hi. But it was a wonderful trade show. But by the time, of course, that's a lot of energy. So by the end of the day, I was like cooked. I was toast. Yesterday, I did nothing. I went out for dinner for Mother's Day, but I did nothing.
Good.
Yeah. I needed the day.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
right.
how I deal with stuff. Shut down for a little bit, and then I cry because I have to it's almost like I have to excavate when I'm quiet, and then I cry and get rid of it. And move forward.
And it's good that I think it's helpful that you know that the tears are simply energy release.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And for people who are supporting others who release energy through crying, if somebody says, I'm just releasing energy, calm the F down and just hold space so that they can release that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. sometimes all I need is a hug. You don't try and don't ask me to make sense of it, because I won't necessarily know what's coming up for me either. But it's stuff that has to come out. So
yeah. And when we talk about stuff that's going to be coming up, right? If anybody, like the gate 48, I'm just pulling out the cards for the notes because I should have just done that beforehand. But the gate 48 is the gate that we're going to be is in our south node. So it's about what we're releasing and what we're evolving from. And this energy is the energy of the well. And it's about moving from inadequacy to wisdom through resourcefulness, right? So again, notice if this energy is coming up for you, it's coming up for a purpose. It's coming up for you to be able to process it, right? And this is all about our, it's part of the EQ and IQ. So if we get into gene keys and the Venus sequence, which is all about our wounding, that's what it's about, right? It's about working through these dark fears of not being good enough, right? And it's interesting because right now it's in the line 6, which is about self-fulfillment, right? So really noticing when these patterns come up for you and what you do that kind of makes them this self-fulfilled prophecy kind of thing, right? Can you take that step back and go, okay, this is just a fear. It's just a fear. It's okay, right? And then we have the hunter-huntress energy, which is what we're moving towards. This is that biting through energy. And this is the north node. So this is about our ability to release our need for control and step into our valor by recognizing that the authority that we can hold is within ourselves. And in doing it, we can take that authority and use it for service. And that's what brings us to our valor. So our adequacy has nothing to do with anything that we're doing. It is just who we are, and we are adequate. We are more than adequate. And what we do is all about the service that we're meant to bring forward into this world. And those things are, parallel to each other. One doesn't make the other be a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. And so we've got a lot of time to work through that, and in such a beautiful energy right now about really being able to tap into simplicity and then being able to begin to express this truth about ourselves that is there if we allow space for it.
Yes. Should we talk about some of the people that are talking to us?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
You mean the best chatters?
The best chatters. Let's go say hello to a few of our best chatters. We have Jackie that stepped in right at the beginning. She can't stay, but she's going to watch the replay. So, hi, Jackie. And we have Carla. Hey, Carla. We have Kaylee. And
hey,
we
Kaylee.
have Hidden City. Hey, from Linwood, Washington. Who else do we have here? Maruta.
Hey.
And this. Gerald, do you get a feeling for this?
The rumblings I feel underground are getting louder for me. Well, I think this doesn't that hypnicity go with what you've been experiencing? Your third eye has opened recently. You're starting a new channel. It could be your core nature is actually getting ready to show itself, and that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. That is exciting.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yep.
Authenticity does bring a lot of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of clarity.
Duh. Oh, sorry. I think that's a great idea. That is Tarot Stash approved. I mean,
Oh, that's
sorry,
fantastic.
it's the wrong show for that. But yeah, I think it is. It's this the authenticity. Anytime that we can be aligned with who we truly are, it just it reduces the amount of waves that are out there because we're going with the flow. So
Yep.
I hope that was okay, Milani.
Kaylee says that's the word of the year, authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this was while I was doing my reading of my dramatic reading.
Yeah.
So to infinity and beyond is actually something my son and I used to say to each other.
Nice.
Yeah, so that really hits home.
Aww.
Maruta singing Into the Unknown. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We have best whirlers. There we go.
Love
That's
it.
for you, Jen.
Love it.
Here's a dream comment. Cinnamon buns, but never getting one. Well, good. You went and bought yourself one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's self-care at its best.
Did you know that Archangel Michael smells like cinnamon buns?
No.
Gabriel smells like Tibetan incense.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she probably was having a little chat with Michael. Hey, Rossi.
Hi, Rossi.
Thanks for joining us. Doing nothing can be a great accomplishment. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Allowing ourselves to do nothing.
Oh, true.
Exactly. And choosing to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is what Kaylee's going to do.
Yeah.
Right, Gerald?
I'm like going, if we need to reschedule, we need to reschedule. So we're adults. Let me know.
No, I think she's just supposed to do nothing, like no work, no.
I still need
class.
to do that, the doing nothing right now. I have Monday scheduled because I promised Gerald I would. And we can reschedule if you need to do nothing because
I thought she promised you that she would do nothing.
no, because we're doing a live tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, Gerald's on with you.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I think
I think she's talking about next Monday because you're doing live tonight.
Sorry. I think it came up because see, I'm discombobulated. Thanks.
Yeah, you told Kaylee to stop and do nothing.
I said, Kaylee, stop, schedule it and do nothing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she said.
Yeah,
She's
there
going to
you
do
go.
that next Monday.
See, I things that I say that I don't remember.
And we had the peacock come through.
Oh, wow.
Let it shine.
Beautiful. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Who we got coming on here? We have this guy who keeps making comments. This tarot stash guy.
Ooh.
What's he doing on there?
Do you have any mods?
Oh, dragons.
Mm.
There's a lot of that. A lot of dragon energy I've been hearing about.
There is. And you're apparently very eloquent. But you also made Kaylee spit out her water. Of course, maybe not one of us. We don't know which one, but one of us made her almost
a little bit of both.
Yeah. And I'm glad that Milani was, got what I was saying. I was like, she's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. Okay, good. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We know he's been hanging around a lot. I think that was Archangel Michael she's talking about. That.
Yes, that would make sense. Cinnamon buns, man. I want to go to a mall and go to a Cinnabon. Archangel Michael.
Yeah, she's my memory sometimes. So she'll text me and say, did you do this yet? I'll be like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she reminds me about a card every week. Just a gentle reminder. Like, thank you.
Yep.
It's our memory.
Yep, that's
because
true.
we're out there a lot, so we have to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I can pull a card. But I think, in the light of the energy that we have right now too, noticing like, is there anything that needs to be simplified? Is there anything that you need to make space for? Talk about simplifying, and then I go,
there's a lot of stuff
on the ground.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes part of what's going on is because things are chaotic. I'm looking at a pile of stuff that I'm seeing that, and it reminds me, Gerald, you need to put that stuff where it belongs, because then you have the space to expand and to have the freedom to move through stuff. So
I need to tidy up too. Time for spring cleaning.
Yes, I'm working on spring cleaning 2003. So that's I'm a little behind.
I might be too.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I made it to yeah, I don't even know where I am. I might not be in the 2000s yet. Oh,
yeah, we're
golly.
Okay. Everything is fine. Yes, I'm trying to.
It's all good.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
How can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care.
Growing our self-love is medicine to this world's broken heart. When you heal, we all heal. When you give yourself more grace, we are all able to give the world more grace. Today's soul action. Look at yourself with a grace filter. Do they have those in here? Can we do that?
A grace filter.
You are meant to be in this moment of your life. Release the inner critic and fill in that hole with your soul's truth. That you are infinite, you are loved, and you are already there.
Mm. It's that idea of is you are exactly where you need to be.
Yeah. Well, and noticing the energy, like I said, that we shifted into, right? Being able to work through this place of inadequacy and really embrace who we are and bring that forward. Like, I love this piece of, release your inner critic and fill that hole with your soul's truth. You are infinite. You are loved. You are already there.
That is a good one. And it goes with our transit, right?
Yeah.
So
I wonder what would happen if we truly genuinely believed that we were exactly where we needed to be, instead of thinking that we should have done more or were less than where we are.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting
I
concept.
have moments of that. Like Saturday, I knew I was exactly where I was supposed to be on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just knew it. I felt it. I was able to make a difference for people. I just knew it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have moments of that, but I'm not sure I'm always there.
Mm-hmm. Is that moment, how do you capture that for access later? Like sometimes
Notice
people...
it in the moment so that you can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's beautiful because when we, as you were saying earlier, right, when we follow our inner truth, that authenticity, we are always where we're supposed to be. The moment the mind jumps in and says, yeah, but now all of a sudden we question it, right? We challenge it. We're not sure. But at every moment when we're actually, as Marita says, like when we're in that flow and we allow ourselves to be in it, then we're able to just say, yeah, I am exactly where I need to be. Even if it's not the most pleasant experience. Even if it is something hard, we're able to sit with that and go, yeah, that's okay. This is me. I need to process right now. This is me. I need to adapt right now. This is me. I need to flow right now. It's all okay.
Yeah, I think we all need this, right? Kaylee says, I need to show myself more grace. Got a sticker and a goodie bag from the Holistic Fair. You deserve the same kindness and patience you show others.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I often, when people say self-deprecating comments, my response is, don't talk about my friend that way.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, because we don't notice what we're doing to ourselves as much,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like, yeah. And then Marita said too about thank you for everything keeps me there, right? That attitude of gratitude, as they say.
Definitely.
Right? If we can recognize, and I know we say this on the show often, but this is happening for me, not to me, right? And being able to be in that place of, okay, I'm going to show myself grace in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I've done it to Kaylee.
Yeah.
Just the once.
Probably more than once.
No, always catch me off guard. So there's definitely a more than once in that.
I think it's more than once.
Yeah. And
Not
it's like,
lots and lots, though, like just a few times.
well, and it's like Hypnicity said, Nalani, shoulds weigh down shoulders.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I always say, don't shoot yourself to death.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely more than once.
She says she'll own up to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's,
lessons.
It's so true because I don't think that we even pay attention sometimes to the inner dialogues that are happening on a regular basis, right? They're so programmed that until we get to a place where we take a step back and go, whoa, I just spent the last hour beating the crap out of myself. For what?
Yeah.
Right? What did that just accomplished? Nothing. Right? And then we go, okay, this is something that needs to be released. And then we can look at it and go, okay, I don't have to beat myself up because I did it. I can be grateful for it and go, okay, thank you. Thank you for showing me what I still have to process. Thank you for showing me what I still need to release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rossi said, if it's not nice, do not say it, especially to yourself. And goes back to that idea. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind?
Yeah.
So if you could tick all of those boxes, great. So, yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of the book, How to Communicate Like a Buddhist, which talks about some of the aspects of that and putting these tenets into practice. And it's really helpful because you need to be able to say hard things to people, including to yourself. You need to say them with a level of support and an understanding so that someone is able to do something with it.
Yeah.
So, and it's like what people say. It's the truth. Truth can sometimes hurt. It can shock us. And when we have that sudden realization, I do think it's so important for us to be able to allow people to have space to process that. Because I'm complex. I don't know about you all, but I'm complex. So
Yes. I think we are each complex in our own ways, right?
we are. Yeah. Observing without judgment makes life easier.
It does.
So much so.
I love you and I forgive you no matter what. Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, and being able to be in that place too helps us to recognize that, just because something is true doesn't mean we need to say it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. That is very
That is
true.
true.
I was just looking at, I just saw something on social media that it's like 7 moments to stay silent.
Mm.
And it was really interesting, the idea of staying silent if what you're going to say is going to hurt the relationship. It's like when you're not sure of how you are feeling,
Yeah.
when you're going to shout,
Mhm.
it's that pause.
Yeah.
It's that pause to become present.
Yeah. And this is where having those tools of being able to bring in the self-compassion are such an important piece, because in that moment where reactivity just wants to be forced from us in this great, whatever it is, whether, whatever emotional kind of thing, wave it's riding, to be able to take that step back and go, okay, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this
Yeah.
really deeply, and I want to do this, but why? Right? And so often the why is because there's a part of us that's in pain, right? And we need to be able to understand that before we try to do anything with anybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And if it was true yesterday, something may have changed today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we change every day, right? We learn
Yep.
every day.
Can't step into the same river twice.
Right.
No. No. And this is where, too, being able to examine and self-examine, right? Tanys, you often talk about the 5 whys and how important that process is, because so often the thing that we're reacting to isn't even the thing that we're actually upset about.
No.
No,
Yes.
no, exactly.
Right? And so in that moment we might go, this is my truth, and this isn't even the issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it not your truth, but it means that it's not really what's creating that reaction that you're having.
Right. And it
So
might mean that it's not your truth.
it could.
Right? Like I'm upset at this and you did blah blah blah. And so now I'm upset. Well, actually I'm upset because I'm feeling this. It wouldn't have mattered if you did blah 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 or not.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Right? So being
Yeah.
able to take that step back and bringing that grace home is such a beautifully transformative opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very important.
Mm-hmm. Pandora's box is leaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other
Well,
piece. Like when
it's a
we're,
collective right now.
it is the collective right now, but also that kind of fear of allowing ourselves to feel all the feels, because if we let that, leak in the dam happen, it's going to break and it's going to drown us. Right? And we're not going to be able to get out of it. And so we hold it all in, and then we think, okay, well, I'm managing it or I'm navigating it because I'm holding it all in. But all we're really doing is hurting ourselves in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how do we allow ourselves to actually feel it and navigate it and go through it? And then once we've come through it, especially those who need to have that emotional wave, right, in order to get to clarity, how can you give yourself permission, hold that grace, and go, all right, I'm going to go wave surfing for the next little bit. I've got to let myself really feel this.
I was
Oh, this
being
is
this.
good.
Yes. Go ahead. The only thing in the box is hope. Leaking hope is a good thing.
Love that.
Well, because I was actually going, I'm not going, what's in Pandora's box? And, um, so, if the plagues to end, to plague humankind, Pisces greeter.
It's moving up on me here. Hang on. There we go. I'm like clicking, but that's moving, and I'm clicking on the one underneath.
Yeah.
That's the one I was aiming for. But yes,
Yeah.
hi Pisces greeter. The TK thing,
Yeah.
those are my initials, by the way. My middle name starts with a K.
Could be reacting to something that happened 10 years ago. Yes, or something that you don't remember because it's been so long.
Yeah. Well, and the other facet of that is if it happened when you were a child, you might see it, you might have seen it from this level as the adult and think it's like this big, so not give it any, like you may not pay attention to it, but really your inner child is like, no, at the time that really upset me.
This is really important.
It's important to me, listen. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
another lifetime even. Exactly.
Yep.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
And
definitely
this
had
is why
that with
grace is.
abandonment. You know,
Yeah.
when I worked through some of that not long ago, and that was past lives, past lives as well as this one. You know?
Well, and you know, that piece, right, of bringing grace to that feeling, right? As, you know, an example, like if we recognize there's this wound and we go, and this is again, like something that can often happen when we're on this spiritual journey, because we go, you know, I should be okay. I should be able to get over this. I should be able to whatever. And it's like, no, the whole point of this journey is to process it and release it. Right. And so being able to bring grace to it and go, this is a wound. This is something that is really impactful in my experience.
Yes.
Right. And if I can recognize that that is something that comes up for me on a regular basis, instead of denying it, right? That whole denying the shadow aspect, right? Instead of denying it, if we can go, come here, it's okay. I got you. I got you. We're going to get through this. It's okay.
Yep.
Right. And then now every time that wound comes up, instead of beating ourselves up for it, we go, okay.
There it is again. All right.
I'm going to breathe through it. It's okay.
And you've said a really good word, the idea of through it, because the only way to truly heal is to move through it. And to keep moving instead of, I mean, because a lot of times that pain, the grief, whatever, it can be like moving in wet cement. And if we stop working on it, we get stuck and we can't move. So,
There's a Rumi quote. It's like, if all you can do is crawl, start crawling.
Yep.
Right?
One step at a time.
You just keep on going. Right? And it's such an important piece. How to heal a wound, clean out the toxicity and give it air. Yeah.
You got it.
How we clear out the dark is bringing light. Get to the other side.
Yeah. Well, and that's it, right? So often we look at these things that are woundings for us and we want to just bandage them up.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to look at that. That's okay. That's going to just be bandaged over there. And, you know, every once in a while it'll get hit and we go, ow, right? But no, I'm just going to keep it bandaged and put it. No, we have to unwrap it. We have to look at it. We have to clean it. We have to care for it. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the only way that we're going to be able to actually get through it.
Yeah.
And then after a while.
Yeah. Hi, Bonnie. Yeah, definitely.
Hi, Bonnie.
Yeah. And that's the piece. So we had that show that we did about the RAS, right?
Yes.
The reticular activating system, and it's about this idea of rewiring what we pay attention to. Right? And as we rewire that, it does become second nature.
Yeah.
Right? So often I have clients go, I never thought I'd get to that place, and now it just happens. Right? Like I just, you know, I'm in this moment and I go, oh, there it is again, right? And I can notice it and I can see it and I can go,
Mhm.
I know what's happening right now. This isn't your stuff. This is my stuff. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're all like gardens, complete with flowers and weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And some weeds are like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
there
it's
are
like,
no weeds, just misplaced plants.
yes, like dandelions.
Oh, yeah.
People see them as a weed, but they have incredible healing properties.
Oh, my
And they're
God. Yeah.
beautiful.
For
The
us
little
and for
yellow
the earth.
flowers. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's all a
again, we
matter of
talk about
perspective.
the mind, right? And that's such a perfect example because the mind determines what is good and what is bad, what we
Mhm.
want and what we don't want. And the moment that the mind determines that something is a weed in our existence, we need to get rid of it, right? But we have no idea, like that weed is there for a purpose for
Yeah.
us, right? And maybe eventually we do need to clear it, and maybe we need to embrace it, and maybe we need to just look at it for a little while.
Yeah.
Right? And so recognizing the mind, and I know I say this quote all the time with Shakespeare, but nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Right?
Mhm.
In this moment, why am I determining that this is bad and that this is good? Where is that coming from?
Yeah. We are a society that is very binary. It's either this way or that way. We're not
Yeah,
oftentimes
polarized.
comfortable. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
polarized. The idea of gray is very uncomfortable for some people. And for people who are comfortable with gray, those oftentimes are the scientists, the artists, the spiritual people who are
Yeah.
truly being in the present, because things you know things can be both at the same time and neither of them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what's gray? It's a lovely color that when you have it, it makes the colors even brighter.
It does.
Mhm.
How's that for artistic? You know, that's 4.5 years of art college coming through.
Aw,
Mhm.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, and that's it too. And I love that idea that it brings the colors together, right? Because gray shades and it highlights,
Hmm.
right? And it's such a beautiful thing that it's able to bring, you know, awareness to different things.
Yeah, there's this great concept of okay, I'm going to get a. There's this great concept that I learned about in art college, which was if you remove the hue or the color, and all that you have is the value or the gray, and you find the gray that matches the color and you put them next to each other, they do this thing, it's called scintillation. They vibrate because our eyes are trying to understand them. And when we put those things together like that, there's this dynamic energy and opportunity for change to happen, um, but also confusion,
Mhm.
because our bodies and our eyes are like going, what is that? I mean,
Mhm.
because if you were to take a picture of it and make it into your grayscale, all you would see would be gray.
Mhm.
So,
I once did a painting, and we painted the whole thing in the shades of gray,
Mhm.
and then we did just very sheer washes
mhm,
of the colors over the gray shades, just to give it that
cool.
color. It's amazing how much depth
Yep.
that kind of thing does.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contrast.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Shade gives relief.
Yep.
Mhm.
like resting in the shade.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lost Gerald.
My
He's
dog
good.
was doing something, so I wanted to look at her to make sure she was okay.
Is she okay?
Yes, she's fine.
Okay, good.
Good.
Oh, sky is rumbling.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yes. Nighttime is sunshade. So even the sun has shade.
Yes. So, Jen, I see you shuffling. What deck are you shuffling?
Yeah, so it is Seeds from the Sacred Feminine. So this is kind of our action card for the week. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Honor your emotions.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. I'm just saying.
Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit. All right. So here we go. Your emotions are great wisdom keepers that guide you through the mysterious realms of the sacred feminine. Your feelings are messengers of valuable information. Do not fear the message these emotions are trying to deliver. They are not trying to harm you. They just want to be felt. In your world, you have been trained to push your feelings away, and this has caused great imbalance. Your feelings are sacred. Honor them and know that it is okay to feel hurt or angry. The emotional body is often misunderstood and needs your light to shine into the darkness. Because some of your emotions are painful, it is easy to be afraid of them. Feelings seem to come unbidden and unpredictably in any given moment. But we grandmothers know that the feelings are much wiser than that. They appear for a reason. Let the feelings flow through you, grandchild. Emotions come in waves and peak and flow like the ocean. Feel them all the way through to the end. We promise they will end. The Creator gave you the emotional body to remind you when you have forgotten your connection to the love of creation. Connect now and feel our loving embrace. We are always with you.
Nice.
Does she have to? Honor her emotions, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah.
We're invited to, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But
I mean, the choice is yours.
of course.
If you do it sooner rather than later, you'll have more time to be experiencing life in a completely different level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, right? Is we all have choice. We can do what we want to do. And
Yeah.
it's not that one thing is good and the other thing is bad, but it's about the experience that we want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if we want to hold on to stuff and we want to hold on to that pain, that's okay. At some point, we're going to have to deal with that, though.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a matter of how long we need to, or we choose to hold on before we let go. Mm-hmm.
We're not doing readings today, Leah. So if that's what you're hoping for, a response to a question, and we're just kind of wrapping up. We're just coming to the end of the show.
It's been an hour already. Holy mackerel.
It has.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a quick question that is related to what we've been chatting about,
Mm-hmm.
then we can probably answer that. If you want to put that in the chat.
Oh,
Okay,
Not
my
bad,
bad.
Leah.
Okay, it's probably it's not a bad thing.
mm-mm. No, and we do talk about the energy right now, and we talk about the transits and stuff. So if you want to re-listen to kind of get a forecast of what the week's going to be like, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I find that when I tell my significant other when I feel hurt by something, he is usually very accommodating about changing the behavior and minimizing the wound.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's very nice.
Mhm.
And it's very nice on both ends because
It is.
you articulated it and he was hearing and making adjustments, and
Mhm.
nothing changes overnight. Well, very little changes overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and nothing changes if nothing changes. We have to be able to express what's going on inside of us if we want something to change. And so it's such a beautiful thing that you're able to express it and that he's able to hear it. Like, that's a dynamic that is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, especially now when with all of the dynamic energy going on that we've talked about, and everybody responds to it differently. We don't have this perfect storm of energy often, and it just really spirals a lot of things. It's an energy that we're not used to dealing with. So of course it's weird because we've not done this before, or
Yeah.
I've not had this experience, or I would even say I have not been energetically aware when this was going on before, and now I am. So
Mhm.
it's this first time of this. It's like when you're riding a bike and you fall off and you scrape your knee, because it's the first time you've ridden a bike. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. But then the next time you ride a bike, you've got more balance and things like that. So,
Mhm.
so yeah. But
So we have a request for palmistry.
interesting. Okay.
Cool. Maybe that's a laugh and learn.
I was just thinking about that. Are there any
Yeah.
palmists out there?
Mhm.
I know a couple that do that kind of work. So we can
So
talk about that.
interesting.
Yes. I often find that I misinterpreted the situation, and understanding it helps me to let it go too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it, right? We see everything through the filters of our previous experiences, whether they're previous this life, previous other lives, previous generational issues, whatever it is. But we have all of these filters in place. And so often, I think it's safe to say we almost never truly see reality for reality's sake because we're always filtering it through our stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And we are. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's okay. I can finish after.
No, you finish.
Just the idea that the more we're able to stay open and curious about something, the more we begin to understand that our perception of reality and the other person's perception of reality are often also not meeting. And so we can come to a mutual understanding if we're willing to address it, if we're willing to talk about it, and if we're willing to put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Leah and I had this conversation at one point. So it's simian line, not Samaritan line. Simian line. That's
Okay.
the line that goes straight across. See the one that goes straight across my hand? I have it on both. Most people don't have that. They have sort of, they go.
You mean this one right there?
Well, no. Yeah, you see
No.
how that? Well, yeah, you see on there. There's two, and they don't cross. Mine meet, so they go right across as one line that goes across. And Leah has one like that as well.
Very cool.
That's a palmistry thing.
Interesting.
Very cool.
That's great.
Yeah. I've always been intrigued by it and done little things here and there to see what, different things mean, but I'm definitely not an expert in it.
Yeah, most people have the two swoops, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
6 is 9.
I think it's that idea of as two people have the same perspective, they're looking at a number,
Oh,
And
Yes.
one perspective, it looks like a 6, and the other
Okay.
perspective, it looks like a 9. They're
Yes.
staring at the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
That's right.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Connects the heart and headlines. Right.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what she meant. Awesome.
So
And
I'm
Gerald,
curious what the two of you have coming up.
yeah, I was just going to ask you what you had coming up.
Well, I'm busy today. I have 4 lives that I am in,
Holy
Oh
moly.
my
which makes me
goodness.
happy. So I have I'm doing a Mystic 4 tonight at 7. So
Awesome.
in about an hour, and then I am on with Kaylee Woo Woo Wonderment tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow I'm doing back and forth with Jamie and Gerald, and Michelle Marie and Jonathan are asking the questions.
Very
And then Thursday I'm doing readings with Linda Day Gonzalez. And it's just easier if everybody just likes and subscribes to my channel, because I am posting things and keeping people up to date. So on what's going on.
Mhm.
So I probably missed something on Wednesday and all that stuff. A joyful journey.
Mhm.
So
Thank you. Love you all too. Yeah, I talked about that, the two perspectives thing with my cell phone a
Mhm.
lot, because it's like, what do you see?
yeah,
You see purple plastic. Well, I see like a colorful screen, so I don't know,
it's a good
but it's the
point.
same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. I like the Buddhist teaching around the elephant, right? Everybody's blindfolded and touching a different part of the elephant, and it's like
Yep.
it's big and it's flat and it's thin, and there's this like flexibility to it. The other was like, it's really hard and solid, and it's like it's
Yep.
really furry. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Jen, what have you got going on this week?
This
You've got a
week,
busy week with lots
this
of
is a
stuff, right?
busy week. But next Monday,
Yes.
before this, unless I have my weeks wrong, Gerald and I are doing the next Laugh and Learn
You are correct.
for authorities for
Yes.
human design. So that will be something to catch before this one at 2 Eastern.
Mhm.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. It's awesome. Yay.
And I have open mic with Ramsey this
Mhm.
Friday at 7. So please join us for that.
Very nice.
So on that note, we want to thank all the best chatters for joining us today. Always great to have you here. And we're sending tons of love to all of you. I don't have the hearts, but I have lots of love. So I'm sending that.
There you go.
I don't know if it'll do it.
We have a whole party thing going on.
Yes, we do. There you go.
In the meantime, we'll wish you a wonderful week. And we'll see you soon. Take care now.
Bye.